A grant from the National Science Foundation supported 6 geologists from the University of Maine, University of Cincinnati, and the University of Magallanes, Chile, to gather samples near glacial landscapes to better understand how Earth's climate functions. We went to the southern shores of South America and the mountain range Cordillera Darwin. I'm Kayla Hunter, an environmental journalist, and I got to follow them on their journey. The 70-foot ocean tramp is home for the next month as 3 crew members, 6 geologists, and myself.
What I liked about this was it's answering this question, this reoccurring question of discovering when was this drastic climate change that ended the ice age, what caused it. It's like, let's find out more about it. And I did find this documentary to be very informative. Um, the narration was a really great touch because it clearly broke down what I was seeing. And it was almost, it reminded me a little bit of like if as if I was hearing things from an instructor's point of view, where it called out, the definitions of things and made it very clear what I was seeing on the film, so that I had a layman's term understanding of it, which I think made it very easy for me to have a full understanding about everything that was taking place, that I was seeing. And so I appreciated that because sometimes with documentaries, you're watching people with a passion about something, but you know so little about the subject matter that it is difficult for you to approach it from an intellectual point of view. And I felt like I knew enough about the subject matter just from watching this, because it informed me enough that I can now approach watching this from an intellectual point of view.
Really shows how rare it is to have scientists be able to study and explore the way that we have lived throughout the time and space of climate change. Here we kind of get to study, what's really going on with the progress and the science behind climate change, and being able to study this through geologists, to study this type of um, you know, uh, glacial treasure and these rocks, to be able to see um, how science has moved, how nature has moved in its movements. And there's only 100 people that study this particular niche subject. And, we get to see a little bit of the breaking down process. It was cool to be able to witness, you know, even the most mundane task of sticking a pole in the ground and trying to study the layers of the Earth's surface to determine how the Earth has flowed throughout time. I think that's we get a nice short of an informative experience on these little bits of information we might have not known before when it comes to climate change.
I really enjoy the hunting. I really enjoy not the actual hunting, but like as the title says, the glacial hunt. So these crew, this group of people or explorers, and they go indeed towards the most uh, glacial zones that we have in the world, and they show us how different life in the wild is, and how used to be the climate has been changing through the years so much. Uh, Indeed, these cold areas are not that cold anymore, and the ice, the snow, they start melting, and this is bringing the terrible problems that we have in the world nowadays, that we hear of from the news pretty much every day. I think the film was very well done, very well directed, and the cinematography is stunning. Really keeps you there, like if you were with them during this expedition.
The voiceover and how it made the viewer feel like you were getting to go on this journey with them. I thought that that was a lot of fun. And also just being able to see these glaciers up close. I mean, the cinematography was stunning, and it was really incredibly interesting what they were doing over there, and had the importance of the job that they were doing. This was incredibly well filmed.
Learning more about kind of the geology and what you can learn from rocks. It was all a very fascinating endeavor. It definitely felt like something you would find on National Geographic.
I was amazed by this expedition and what these dedicated scientists were studying. I think the filmmaker did an excellent job clearly explaining in narration the goals of the scientists. The camera work was gorgeous, so many stunning shots of the snowy mountains and icy glaciers. I also enjoyed the cozy scenes in the boat during meals and socializing. The film has made me very curious about what has been discovered now, the summer of 2023, as mentioned in the film.
These are the type of people that we need documentaries on them. We need more focus on them to show what's actually being done, because that's something the news media doesn't really cover. Films like this could be shown in a classroom. They could be shown in a museum, educational places to show people who are actually interested in what's being done.